Nicholas Wilde, you are under arrest.
For what? Hurting your free wings?
Felony tax evasion. Oh! Anyway, according to your tax forms, you reported, let me see here, 0.
So, I've recently rewatched Zootopia, and I have to say, I think this movie is funnier as an adult, I can't even lie. I remember watching it, what was it, it was 9 years ago? Man, I'm getting old. It was such a great standalone film for its time. Can't believe we got this and Beastars the same year. You know, Zootopia's a little weirder cousin.
Steven, what are you doing in there?
Drugs.
But I'm just gonna stick with Zootopia for today. Now, the story starts in Bunny Barrow, where we have Judy Hopps. Judy wants to be a police officer when she grows up. Her parents are like, maybe you can try something different like farming. But she's like, nah, I want to pursue my career. So she decides to go to police academy. No, not the movie, but that was a good film, let me tell you. But anyway, she struggles of course on her first day, and the polar bear instructor is mean to her about it. I think it's funny the polar bear is saying all of this when I'm pretty sure she would be dying if she was assigned to the Sahara district. But thankfully, Judy pushes through and she is able to graduate at the top of her class. She is then assigned to Zootopia to begin her police career. So she hugs her family goodbye and heads off to Zootopia. So I'm sure you know this, but I'm going to explain it anyway because I want to. But Zootopia has 5 main areas, which are the Sahara Square, Tundra Town, Rainforest District, Savannah Central, and Meadows Lands. So as you can see, it is a very diverse city. This city is what I would imagine Pangea to be like 300 million years ago. I guess the only difference is that there aren't any T-Rexes or Triceratops or kangaroos. Didn't see a single kangaroo in Zootopia. Sorry, off track. Anyway, so she arrives to her apartment, and yeah, it's about what you would expect for someone moving out after school. The only difference is that she would most likely have a roommate, considering being in the city, her rent could be over $4,000 a month, but you know, maybe Zootopia ain't as expensive. So the next day, she goes to her job, and her boss is going over the details of a case involving 14 missing animals. She doesn't get assigned any of them though, and is forced to work as a meter maid. And I want to ask a question. Do you guys harbor good feelings for meter maids?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Yeah, that's what I thought. It isn't the most liked or respected job in the world, and definitely one of the jobs everyone hates you for doing, even though it's their fault 90% of the time. I do not envy her. So she does her job well, but she gets a lot of hate from people and lots of insults hurled her way. I swear, this scene brought back so many memories of working in customer service. This scene hit way too hard for me, man. She does come across this fox and a kid who wants to get a popsicle. She immediately goes for the minority spray. Okay, that was a little out of line for me, so let me explain that real quick. So her parents gave her this fox spray because they are afraid of foxes because of their supposed dangerous nature. This mentality goes for all predators too, and the fact that Zootopia is 90% prey, that means, yes, it's racism. It always boils down to racism. But yeah, Judy grew up in a mostly prey background, and the one fox she meets turns out to be a dick when she was little, so that didn't help her that much either. So the elephant is being racist too and telling them, we don't want your kind around here. Judy interjects and tells them that they are violating like 18 health codes, and she will shut them down or she will let them off with a warning if she gives this fox and his kid the popsicle. So they get the popsicle, and it seems that all is well until, well, it isn't. It turns out that the fox and that supposed kid are actually just hustling. The fox is Dick Wild, by the way. They buy popsicles from real businesses and just upsell them to someone else to make money. These dudes are just scalpers basically. Thankfully they were just doing it with food and not Pokemon cards and concert tickets. So Judy confronts Nick and is like, you're breaking the law since you don't have a food permit or receipt to declare commerce for your operations. But guess what? Nick had both of them. Nick clearly wasn't born yesterday. My man knows what he's doing. And then on top of all of that, Nick absolutely clocks her in basically her entire life, where she's from, her expectations, her dreams and aspirations, to her downfall, all while taking a nice stroll. So yeah, not the best day for Judy. So she goes back to her depressing apartment and goes to sleep. So it's the next day, and Judy is still working as a meter maid until a robber runs right past her. This is her chance, her moment. So Judy runs after the perp, which leads her to Rodent Town. I also love this scene because it shows the amount of world building that went into this. They didn't forget about the little guy, so they gave them a city within the city. I thought that was a nice touch. But anyway, the weasel is wreaking havoc by knocking over buildings and kicking over giant donuts. Thankfully, Judy's able to stop both of these things from hurting people, including this little one, and then she captures him. It turned out that all the guy stole was some old ass onions. Well, okay, maybe it wasn't that valuable, but at least she helped someone get their stuff back. So she is on the verge of getting fired, but she finally gets the case to find Emmett Otterton. The catch is, though, she has to solve the case within 2 days or she gets fired. Now, I thought this deal was beyond stupid. This guy is such a dick, because why would you give a case you haven't solved in 2 weeks to some random rookie who hasn't even had a first case yet? Yet, he clearly set her up to fail, and I'm almost mad she took that offer. But anyway, so she is investigating and realizing that Emmett's disappearance is connected to Nick, so she goes and finds him. So she finds him, and Nick is being snarky with her, of course, but then Judy pulls the ultimate trap card of just blackmailing him, since it seems like that Nick here doesn't like the IRS.
I don't care who the IRS sends, I am not paying taxes.
So Nick, with no choice, goes with her to help with the investigation. They get to the DMV. I know, what a terrible place to go. They need a content warning before showing that place in a kids movie. So they go to the DMV to get the license plate number of the car that Emmett was last seen in. So Nick hits up his man, Flash, the fastest sloth in the whole building. Well, I guess fast in sloth terms, because it takes him a while to do anything. He seems like a cool guy, though. It just seems like it would take him 18 years to respond to a joke.
One eternity later.
So after all that, they are finally able to get out and continue their investigation. The investigation leads them to Thunder Town, where they end up getting captured by mob boss that Nick happened to piss off by giving him a skunk butt rug. I have no words on how this ends up happening. Did Nick not realize it resembled a butt? Does this mean skunks exist in Zootopia? And also, this has a terrible implication that a skunk was skinned to make this rug, which to us would be having a human skin rug, which makes this 10 times more disturbing. But anyway, we got Vito Corleone, and I'm not gonna just say this is a Godfather reference, because my man's is literally just a character. There's no way around it, so he is Vito in my eyes now. So he's about to ice them, but Judy's good deed came back around to help her, and it turns out that lady she stayed from Rodent Town is the daughter of Vito Corleone. This was their key to escaping, since she saved the mob boss's daughter. She basically has a friend for life at that point. And I'm sure this was probably the only time Nick was thanking his lucky stars that Judy was there to save his ass. So while chilling with the mob boss, they learned that Emmett actually went what they called savage and attacked his driver and escaped into the night. This is a big but strange lead, so they go and track down the driver. And well, that doesn't really work out, since the driver goes crazy on them and tries to attack them. And for reference, no, the driver wasn't a deer or anything, but a big ass panther, so that is scary as hell for them. Judy calls for a backup and they are able to escape. The backup comes, but the panther is gone, so they don't believe her. So her boss fires her, or should I say not, because according to Nick, they still have 10 hours left to solve the case. Man, this guy pisses me off. So Nick is able to save Judy this time, which is sweet. Judy called in a favor at City Hall with the mayor's assistant, Bellwether. Bellwether is able to help them find where the panther went, and apparently he was captured by these wolves and put into a maximum security prison. So they break in and find that not just Emmett, but all 14 animals are in this prison. And wait, hold on, it gets worse. The mayor was trying to hide them all from the public. I know, crazy, right? So crazy that Judy is able to get it on video so they can arrest the mayor and turn him in. So after that, it seems like a job well done, and it seems like everything is back to normal. But Judy does a racism to Nick when talking to the press conference and saying that the animals probably went savage due to their nature of being predators. This was so bad on so many levels, because one, Judy here was straight up just speculating this, and had no solid evidence of this being true, and two, thanks to her saying this, she basically causes a race war within the city and loses her best friend. Man, talk about fumbling an interview, damn. So she quits and goes back home to sell carrots, but then she realizes that the reason the animals are going savage isn't due to their nature, but the fact that they were being exposed to this crop called night howlers. So this chemical in the crop can affect both predators and prey. So Judy and Nick make up and try to find the real culprit behind all this. So I'm not going to go over this part too much, but they find out the night howlers were being supplied by this dude in the lab. And I'm sure you already know where this is going.
Just we need to cook.
Okay.
Why are you wearing a chip?
But anyway, they get caught inside the meth lab and escape, but unfortunately the evidence is destroyed, but Nick is able to snag some of the evidence right when he was escaping. The evidence he grabbed was a gun that was used to shoot the night howler chemical at the animals that went savage. So they are about to give the evidence over to the police, but they realize that Bellwether was behind the entire thing. So this was just one giant psyop operation to make predators look bad, so she can unite all the animals of prey against them. So in short, racism. She's racist. So they get trapped by Bellwether and she shoots Nick with that night howler gun. Ooh, this is not good. This would seem like really bad if it wasn't for the fact that Nick had the foresight to switch out the night howlers for blueberries. Actual insane clutch from Nick right there. My goat thinking 10 steps ahead like that. So they are able to arrest Bellwether this time, and they release the mayor since he was doing some shady stuff, but he wasn't behind the crime. And they all just dance at Shakira's concert, and that's the end of the film. I think I have even more of an appreciation for this movie now compared to when I first watched it as a teenager. I love the themes it tackles, and I think it is one of the best movies where jokes are amazing and hold well for both kids and adults. I hope the second movie matches this energy, but we'll have to see. If you watched this far, thanks for watching the video. I do a lot of movie recaps like this, so if you want to see more, please consider hitting the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Until next time, goodbye.